So in this video, I wanted to take you along a little bit behind the scenes, what I'm doing, how it works, and so on. I'm going to be painting a little bit, but mainly just showing you what this is, how it works. So this is, let's turn off a few lights. This is a UV painting. It is a glow in the dark. Well, it's not charged yet, so we actually have to charge it a little bit. When I say charge, it needs UV light or normal light over a long extended period, but UV light quickly, then it's a glow in the dark painting too. We have it as a thermochrome painting, and I'll be explaining this to you. So thermochrome is well, it's not actually a color shifting paint, but it can make the painting an autumn to summer painting. This entire painting here is a thermochrome painting too. Let me show you. I spent quite a bit of time working on this yesterday. There's a lot more work to do, but I think we managed to make the flowers appear like this, and mushrooms should go away and so on. So let me a little bit slow this down and step by step explain a little bit as I go, the different stages, the different things. I quite forgot that this is actually also a photochrome painting. So these are effect pigments. Effect pigments, well, they do various other things than just have normal colors. So I started out, when I started with this at all, I started with these here. These are, you do this in half light. Oil sticks. That was the first effect pigment I ever used, and the easiest way to get into this way of painting. And oil sticks are brilliant because they just have, it's a stick. It looks like you're painting with some crayons or something, but they actually, well, they dry completely, but you don't actually have to put them away anywhere safely because you can just take the film off the layer like this. It becomes a little bit of a mess, but it's a lot less messy than tubes. And I started with that almost 3 years ago because I have always been an oil painter. For 17 years, I've been painting with oil. Then I just discovered these. You just smear them on the palette and you mix them with your colors, and suddenly your painting is UV reactive. And then from that, I started with pigments. Pigments are these kinds of colors here with powders. And you just mix those with linseed oil. All of this, if you want to learn more properly how to do this, I have an academy. There's a link in my bio. And I have tutorials on all of this, step by step, how to use this. And from that, I learned how to use pigments. And learning how to use pigments is the way into glow in the dark. Glow in the dark is, it's so difficult to use. These, I think it's wonderful. They look like, they are magical in a way that I think UV colors just aren't. Because they glow on their own, and every time you turn off the lights in your room, you'll have this glow and this shine. But if you've ever tried out glow in the dark colors, you've noticed that they're difficult to work with. They are hard to use, and it's because they're crystals. They're actually crystals that you work with, and the bigger they are, the brighter they shine, which is nice, but it's of course the bigger they are, the coarser they are, and the more difficult they are to work with. So I think normal pigments, the dyes, the UV colors, for instance, and normal pigments, they come like in ucograms. They're tiny little particles that are so fine that you won't notice them and you can paint with them. These come in micrograins. And this is the brightest color I absolutely have is this here. And I love using it. It's so bright that it can shine for like 30 hours. And it's actually used in concrete and cement so that it can glow, that the street can light. And it's used a lot in, that's actually the company that makes these colors actually came from security things. So like strips on the floor when you run out, when there's a fire or something. And he actually came from that world, and these are used for that. Lovely to use in paintings, impossible to paint with, almost. But then, step by step, I've learned that too. And now we can use the most extreme bright colors in the painting. From that, I then discovered the thermochrome paint and the photochrome. The thermochrome paints is this here. I just use a lighter, but it's actually 25 degrees, a warm summer's day, and you get the same effect as when I use my lighter here, and it turns, which means that very often you'll have the change. It's not like you need any effect. It's not like you need a heater on it or anything. When the room goes warm, the entire painting changes. And I've started to use those now. That's difficult because every single thing you paint with, you don't have one layer where you can see, okay, now I have the UV light on, now it's off, and I know how it looks. You keep having to change it off and on. So in some ways it's more difficult, but easier to paint with than luminescent, technically, but needs a lot of practice, I find. The photochrome, I found this here, that changes color under strong UV light, and it doesn't actually change color, it activates. It's invisible, and then it gets a color under UV light, meaning that I'm starting to use it for shadows in the UV. So UV usually just makes the color brighter, but we can actually now, the UV light activates it and makes the shadow darker. So that there are really cool ways that we can use this. There are also gold pigments and so on, but those, yes, they are effect paints too. There are lots of these mica powders and so on, but these four are the four effect pigments that are well known enough that you can actually, that you can use them in paintings yourself, because there's enough research there. I'm sure there are others, but these are kind of the ones that have come far enough in a way. So what we're going to be doing here, for instance, now is I add different stages on top of each other. And I was thinking I can at least show you a little bit of how I work here. So now I have the glow in the dark. This is going to be the winter version of the painting. And I will step by step work with this. I use liquid. Liquid is something that just, it's different than usual traditional oils. It's something that dries much, much faster, and you can use it more heavily, and it's great for glow in the dark. I have some here. And it actually can dry within a day, even though you paint with heavy layers. This, if I painted with a traditional paste like beeswax, it would take months to dry. This actually takes like a day, so you're almost in the blend between oils and acrylics. We use some, this is a lovely thing, with glow in the dark. So with UV colors, we basically never have white. It always turns blue. But with glow in the dark, it's an amazing thing. There isn't actually a crystal that glows white, but since it's glow in the dark, it glows on its own. All colors together, usually of course you have white, and then you break it up and then you get a color. But with glow in the dark, it's the other way around. When you add colors together, eventually they become white. So if you just add all your colors together, you have a beautiful white, and you can make it stronger or less strong according to what kind of crystals you put in. I was thinking, so I just usually put it here. You can't grind these down. If you grind them down with a muller, you destroy the technology. So you don't have to worry about that. You just put it on your palette and then you mix them in and you can just paint with them right away. You don't actually have to mull the fluorescent either because they're so fine. As I said, they're called dyes, not traditional pigments, because they're really, really, really finely grained. So what I usually do is that I go over the painting. This is from imagination. I don't have a reference. I don't know what's next in a way. I don't plan the paintings. I don't draw them first, nor is there a reference, which means that I can then just kind of decide. I can just sit down, see what would I like to be doing now? What is missing? And then we can start. Let's see if I turn this one off and we turn this one off. For instance, would be nice. I just added that mountaintop. And I have a UV flashlight here. It charges everything very, very fast. Much faster, even faster than sunlight, just because it's so concentrated. I thought maybe we'll have the light of the moon, and we just add, so you can, I'm not sure if you can see it very well, but it's a heavy paste and you push it around. I have experience as a porcelain painter, so the pushing around of pigments is something I know quite well. That I think I always find that everything you've learned always comes in handy somehow, even if you don't know what exactly at the time, it will do. And porcelain and glass painting really comes into its own when you have to do these things. Let's turn this off and let's so we just kind of swirl the brush around so we get the heaviest amount of pigment here. And then we can actually see it charge. And it gets this wonderful white that has a little bit, you can see some of the other colors almost in it. And then we'll add the color of the Northern Lights on the other side, but this now looks a lot better, I think. I don't have any white on this yet. I think it's blue and aqua mainly. And then let's add another little line, just down here. Then I thought I'd take you behind the scenes again and we will put in some thermochrome. I just wanted to show you a little bit how I work, what I do, and so on. We can have a nice white color. And you can see here, the light that I have above me and behind me, I have a UV beamer. It's good, but I can't have too strong on it because then otherwise you can see here too, your screen is probably not showing, it's probably just a white blob. That's just that when you film it, it doesn't work well, but there we have the sky, how bright it actually will become. That looks wonderful. I told you about these extreme pigments that I have here. The lovely thing though, since they are so heavy, you can put them on a cloth and then just wash them on the painting and you have tens of thousands of stars. So the thermochrome is a little bit, so for instance here, you can see it's not very red. What we do is I have a bit of my orange thermochrome here. And thermochrome works in the way that it's the opposite of the photochrome. The photochrome here was invisible until you have UV on it. Thermochrome works the other way around. It's visible until it goes warm and then it's invisible. So as a finish here, I use some linseed oil, a little bit of liquid. And I'll show you here. It isn't very orange here at the moment. So we just add a bit of orange on top of it and just do a translucent wash so that we are just changing some colors. But I'm not actually interfering with anything that's underneath. I can do it a little bit stronger some places so that we have the nice autumn colors here. And then when we use the lighter and we make this, have it go warm, those colors then disappear. And everything that was underneath is revealed. So you can do thermochrome in a variety of ways. You can blend them in so that you have a line that's, for instance, if I did, I'll show you some of the more extreme ones. If we do green, for instance, we add a bit of normal green. This is a pigment. We add a bit of normal green into my red. And then I just do this. And we have kind of an orange color. Now we have a blend of normal color and the thermochrome. The thermochrome will go away and just the green is there. So you can do blends or you can add the thermochrome on top. The more pigments, the more different things you add, the more complex it all becomes. But it also opens up a wealth of opportunities and possibilities. So I hope this was at least either fun, educational, or something in between. And there you have a little bit of the background of how I'm working with these colors. And so much left to do here, but I think you get the idea of how you kind of shift and change and kind of just test out. At least that's how I do it. Remember, if you want to learn these ways of painting, I teach in the Patreon Academy. There's a link below. And I also have a few paintings now. I'll show you one that I just made the last tutorial on. I have this idea, you see, that I could, and I'm doing this now, I've started an oil painting, very simply, for complete beginners. And I've done step by step. And then I'm slowly turning it into one of my complex paintings. And then I'll be adding all of these effects on top of it, but very slowly, so that you can actually, in the tutorial, learn all of this by just following along with one painting. So, and I have a starter kit that you can buy. I'll show you that one too. Just since I have you as an almost captive audience, of course you could always leave, but I have a starter kit here. And these are my colors. I don't have the Thermochrome yet. We might have an advanced one. Let me know if you want an advanced kit. But these are at least fluorescent. And they are, oh, not this one. So many lights. And they are luminescent. You can see these little bottles here. Exactly the same colors that I use. And you get the UV flashlight. And you get the liquid, the medium that I was talking about, the heavy one. So you get all of these together. And some of the paintings, I have tutorials where you just use these colors in the starter kit. You can get going right away. So, enough of my own commercials. I hope at least some people find this interesting. And we can do more in the future. But bye for now.